Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Hi-Fi Preschool and Kids Weekly Training Podcast. My name is Kayla, and I am joined by some of our team members, Rachel and Crystal. And today we are going to be jumping into week 2. We are already halfway through this month as we are talking about how God made me special in preschool and I am uniquely designed in kids. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today, but before we get there, we want to know about something fun that you've created that makes you proud. So Rachel, Crystal, I would love to hear, is there something fun maybe from your childhood or maybe even something today that you've made, and when you look at it or you see it or somebody brings it up, it makes you proud? What would that be for you?
Can I say something I am currently making? And I might have
Sure.
talked about it on this podcast before, but I've been working on a scarf, knitting a scarf for probably the last 6 or 7 years. Um,
I thought you were going to
and
say months.
no, it's been a long time. I call it my forever scarf because it's taking me forever, but I am bound and determined that I will finish this scarf because I have started many knitting projects, never finished one, but I have committed this many years. Now, granted, obviously, I don't knit very often. That's why it's taking me so long, but I will finish it. And when I do, I'm going to wear it so proudly and be like, I made this. And it might have taken me a lifetime. Feels like a lifetime, but yeah.
But you
So
did it.
I am proud of what I have done so far. I don't even have that long to go. Maybe I'll do a little knitting today. Who knows?
Also, shout out to you for your perseverance. 6 or 7 years, I would have given up on that project a long time ago.
Listen, I refuse. I refuse to give up.
That is so funny. Rachel, what about you? What's something fun that you've made that makes you really proud?
Yeah, so mine's ongoing as well. Not quite 6 or 7 years, but maybe one, maybe two, maybe. But I talk about robotics a lot on the podcast, I think, and that's something our family's really into. So we do these like little robotics competitions, and my robot is a fairy weight robot, is what it's called. So it's really small, and I've been working on it, and its name is Bippity Boppity Boom, and it has this little spinner on it, and I'm just really proud of it.
That's so fun.
Love it.
That
That's
is so
super
fun.
fun. I love it. Okay, well, I'm going to share something that is a shameless plug. And I know it's a shameless plug, so I'm just putting it out there that I know it's a shameless plug before I do. But the thing that I have created that makes me really proud is our newest Hi-Fi Preschool board book. So if you guys don't know, we have a Hi-Fi Preschool book, and it's so cute. It's called God Knows Me Inside and Out, and it has been out in the world for about a month now. And it was just such a sweet project to get to be part of and get to work on with an amazing team that is from the B&H team. And so, yeah, so when I look at that in this season right now, I am really proud of it. And I hope you will be too. I hope it's something that's fun for your preschoolers and for your families. And so if you're interested in that, you can find that book at lifeway.com or on Amazon and check it out. So, but yeah, that's my fun thing. So I know it's a shameless plug. I know it is. But in case you didn't know, it's out there and it's really fun and your preschoolers are going to love it. I was talking to somebody this morning. He was like, man, I've just memorized this book because I've read it so much to my preschooler. Like every night we're
Awesome.
reading this book. So anyway, so that makes me really proud.
That's so
Okay,
cool.
so why did we ask that question? One, because we love talking about fun things and we love being creative. But two, because it shows off a little bit of the unique distinctives about how God made us, right? I don't know anybody else who loves robotics like Rachel and her family. And I think that's so
Hmm.
cool and so exciting. And I have never in my life heard of anyone who's working on a scarf for 7 years. So I think that is incredible to hear about. But this month we are talking about how God made us special, how we are uniquely designed. And this week, we're going to be talking about how God made me on purpose. So we're going to be looking at the Bible story in Jeremiah chapter 1 of how God called Jeremiah. And so I'm going to let Rachel, if you will, unpack that a little bit, share with us a little bit about why we chose this Bible story. What can we be kind of expecting for this upcoming week? And how does this help us kind of teach preschoolers and kids that God made them on purpose?
Yeah, this Bible story is such a fun one to teach when we talk about God making us on purpose. Because even in the beginning of our Bible story, we get to hear God say to him, I knew you and I chose you before I made you. And it's such a great starting point to think about how um, God created us and he created us on purpose and with a purpose. And so God told Jeremiah about this special purpose he had for him. And he replied, Oh no, God, I do not speak well because I'm so young. But God says, Don't say you're so young. You will be able to speak to everyone I send you to, and say what I want you to say because I'll be there and I'll help you. So it shows us that God didn't just randomly assign this job to Jeremiah, but he created him for it. And then he
Mm-hmm.
was there with him the whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's so neat that God tells Jeremiah, I will fill your mouth with my words. And so he created him for this purpose. He gave him just what he needed to say, and then he filled him with just the right words.
Mm.
That is incredible. Yeah, and really listeners, like those are the big 3 that we're talking about with this Bible story. Like God made you on purpose. God made Jeremiah and said, "I knew you even before I formed you." And then not only that, like he had a special purpose for him, right? He had a special plan that was specific for Jeremiah. And God has plans for our lives as well. He
Mm-hmm.
has direction for who we are and who he wants us to be and how we can share his love and his light and point other people to him in this world. And then, just talking about how really that purposeness that we have, that I don't even think that's a word, that purposefulness that God put in us. He didn't do that and then just leave us on our own, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he was with Jeremiah every step of the way. And as we celebrate and get excited about the purpose that God has for us, we don't have to be scared about that. We don't have to be nervous about what's that plan going to be, what's that purpose going to be. We don't need to know the full story. Like God
Mm-hmm.
is with us every step of the way, and he will work through us to bring him glory and to honor him with our lives. And I think that's really a really sweet thing that we get to teach about this week. Okay, so Crystal, I'm going to turn to you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about purpose, and we're going to define that and kind of unpack what that means. But sometimes when we think about purpose and the plans that God has for our lives, it's maybe a little bit different than the way that the world teaches about purpose. So, can you kind
Mm-hmm.
of talk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, I think this is such an important thing for us to help preschoolers and kids in our churches be able to distinguish between. There's little things in hi-fi that every single one of us that has a hand on it, you can see it reflected in things that we do. And one of the things, if you've ever noticed in kids, is we never ask the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? It always is, what do you want to do when you grow up? Because it is important for preschoolers and kids to know that your job is not your identity. What you produce is not your identity. And we do live in a world where what is seen outwardly is what is celebrated. Preschoolers or kids are growing up and seeing these influencers who have all of these followers and all of these likes. And there becomes almost this thought of like, in order for me to have purpose, I need to be celebrated by the world. People are going to judge me based off of all of the things that I'm about the money that I can make, about my job title and things like that. And instead, we get to sit here and say, like, God made you on purpose, and he made you for a purpose. And that purpose is to love and follow him. Like, that's it. And whatever you do, your purpose is to love and follow God. So whether you are an influencer with a million followers, or you are somebody who lives in a teeny little town and you know 10 people, your purpose is the same. and it is to love and follow God. And it doesn't matter what the world says, it doesn't matter who takes notice. You can know that He is so, so proud as you love and follow Him. And it's such a relief and a burden that we can take off of these kids as they're growing up to know that you are not defined by all of the things that you are produced and by what the world celebrates. You are defined by the God who sees you, knows you, and loves you, and made you to know and love Him in return.
Wow. That is, I feel like you just like dropped a truth bomb on us right there. Like, the fact of like that intentionality of, what do you want to do when you grow up versus what do you want to be or who do you want to be
Hmm.
when you grow up is so important. And it's purposeful, it's distinct, and there's a reason that we do that. But even more so than that, I mean, that's so important for kids to know. And also, I feel like that's so important for us as adults to know as well,
Hmm.
that we are not what we do. Our
Yeah.
identity is not in what we do, and who we are is so much bigger and so much more important than just the ministry that we serve in. It's so much bigger than the job that we do, or whether that's a 9 to 5 job or if that's a stay at home job. Like, or, I'm a stay at home mom. That is a big job.
Hmm.
And yet, when God sees us, He doesn't see our business card. He doesn't
Hmm.
see our email signature. Like, He sees who He made us to be.
Hmm.
And that we are made on purpose. We are made for a purpose. And I love what you said there, that no matter what we do, because our lives all have different tracks, right? We all have different jobs we go to and different things happening in our lives, different family dynamics. And there is a singularity of purpose of knowing and loving and following God. And
Yeah.
so this Bible story in Jeremiah 1 really gets to elevate both of those things. It gets to elevate the specific. God called Jeremiah to a special plan, to a special purpose, for a special reason. And that reason was to bring honor and glory to Him. And
Hmm.
He has a special plan and purpose for every kid and every preschooler in your classroom this week.
Hmm.
And that purpose is to point others to Him. And so God had a special way that He wanted Jeremiah to do that. And He has special ways that He wants us to do that too. And He can
Hmm.
use those unique giftings, those things that we get excited about, and the ways that He has uniquely designed us and the ways that He has made us special to really point other people to Him.
Mm.
So, leaders, we are so grateful for you and just excited about what the Lord is doing in your ministry this summer. And are, just really looking forward to hearing more about what it is that God is doing and how He is moving in the lives of your kids and the lives of your preschoolers. So if you have a fun story, if you have a silly story, we would love for you to share it with us in the Facebook community. We really do read those comments and those stories and see those pictures all the time. And it just helps us know, one, how to pray for you, but two, it helps us just to celebrate alongside you of what God is doing in your ministry and what He is doing in your church in this moment. Quick little shout out, if you have not already, our summer event is in full swing. And so be sure to check out our summer event this summer. And this is such a fun event, really, for the whole family to just join in and be part of something really fun together. So we would love for you guys to check that out. And again, send us some posts, send us some stories. We want to see how your church is using these events and how they're blessing your ministry. All right. Well, we are praying for you this week as you teach about how God called Jeremiah and how you teach about God's purpose and plan for each and every preschooler and student. We're so grateful for you. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.